I just wanted to talk to you first of all about strikers, or the need for a striker. Sorry, I know it's boring, but clearly you need one. After the first game last week, I believe you had a conversation with the sporting director. Any joy, any movement on that?
Oh, I think every day there's a bit of movement, and yet there's nobody through the door yet. Listen, I fully understand deals are really difficult to do. I think the selling clubs can start really high if they want, and deals take a long time to get done. It's so every day we have an update now, and are we any closer? Yeah, we're closer than yesterday, but not close enough to say that was somebody coming in to help the team tomorrow. But listen, I understand it. As I've just said to you before we went on air there, I used to spend my whole summer holidays doing things like this, and yet here I am. I feel as if here I am stamping my feet saying, where's the striker? And yet I should know, because for 20 years I've been feeling the frustration of trying to get people through the door. And that's why a lot of clubs leave, their business gets done on the last day. It's not intentionally, you don't think, let's leave it till the last day and do the business, but what happens is the clock starts to run out, and clubs who are selling players start to panic that they're not going to get anything, and they'll take this money now, whereas they weren't taking it 2 weeks from the window. They don't need to, they're waiting to see what else comes along. So so it'll get resolved. I think to the level of you've got to try and get it right, I would suggest, and this time between now and the window shutting will be gone, and hopefully the team will get stronger and stronger and better, and you don't win and lose leagues or get promoted or don't get promoted in the first month of a season. There's lots and lots of teams who, I think Middlesbrough was second bottom in end of October last year, weren't there, or something, and so there's plenty of time. We have to get it right, not rush and just get any old footballer in. So we're working hard, and everybody's time staying late and watching presentations of the next player potentially on the list, and hopefully we'll have the right number of strikers in the building. And I need to say we do have strikers. It's not a question of, I know sometimes I do stamp my feet and say we haven't got a striker, and yet we have got a couple of injured strikers, Ross Stewart being one of them, of course, and young Eliza, who got injured on his first day here, is another one who looked, his first training session, he looked really dynamic and powerful and fast, and so we've got two strikers injured, unfortunately. We've got a young Portuguese boy who made his first sort of senior appearance last weekend, and we are where we are at the moment until we get some recruits through the door, and I'm pretty sure we will, but I can't sit here and say it's going to be tomorrow or the next day, but the work is getting done behind the scenes.
How hard was it, do you think, for Hamir as a 19-year-old to kind of make his debut and have all that pressure on him, I guess, of being the man up front? Is it a difficult position for him to be in?
Yeah, probably. Listen, it's interesting, these conversations with him. He's quite a humble kid. He understands he's come to a new country. He's acclimatizing, as I always say. Things like the things we all take for granted, like driving a car or somewhere where you go home after training, and where do you go to eat? Where's the supermarket? All of them little things he's trying to adjust to, and getting a new phone. Getting the car supplied. Where's his car from? What's he doing? All of them little things, bank accounts, all going on whilst we're expecting him to try and bang some goals in up front for the team. And I think the staff, we're all pleased with his quality and his talent. I think he just has to acclimatise to the environment of football. When you play for our team, you have to work hard, you have to run, you have to, whether you play up front or you play full back or centre mid, we have to all work hard for each other, and I think it's just a different culture from where he's come from, and I think it's going to take maybe a few months to mould him into the centre forward we want him to be, I think. But he undoubtedly has the talent. It's just we need to get the inert work ethic into him, and the making the forward runs, and and he understands that. As I said, he's a nice lad. He's quite humble, and he listens, and he nods, and he agrees that he needs to get his fitness levels up. And we'll be trying to do that as well as trying to give him enough game time to keep his confidence going if we can.
You mentioned Ross Stewart before. Where is he at in terms of his rehab and being likely to make an appearance in the next few weeks, and also amongst the huge speculation that he might not even be here by the end of the window?
Where is he? He was on the grass today. He was, when I went out to start the training session off, he was kicking balls against bounce boards and with his boots on. So that's a positive sign. I'm not sure the time scale of a few weeks is right. I think it's probably a bit more than a few weeks. I think he's 6 or 7 weeks probably is what I'm thinking before he's ready to potentially get on the pitch. And as you said, who knows what the next 3 weeks brings. So I think the club are pretty relaxed. But obviously we'd like him to sign a new contract. We've obviously had lots of discussions. The situation is he's getting himself fit, and we have to wait and see whether the phone rings. If the phone doesn't ring, he'll just get on and do his rehab, and when he's fit he'll be in contention to play for the team. And I can see somewhere down the line if that's what happens, Ross playing up front with the potential of with Clark and Roberts either side of him, with the DAC maybe supplying him with the ammunition. It's it looks potentially all right down the line somewhere. So let's keep going. And there's no pressure. We're not stood over Ross every 5 minutes telling him to get out there and get pushed on. He has to get fit. He's had a bad injury, and he needs to make sure in his mind he's ready to play.
So for you overall at the moment, is your overwhelming feeling sort of one of frustration or?
Frustration, yeah. I just want the team to be good and successful, and we played for a lot of the time last year without any strikers really, or what you would call centre forwards, and we scored the 4th most goals in the league or something. Somebody told me at the weekend we were in the top 6 for expected goals. Now I'm not really sure what expected goals are. I'm sure you'll know better than me, but somebody said we were in the top 6 of expected goals after the Ipswich game, and doesn't matter because we only scored 1. And but I think we've proven that we can play without a recognised number 9 at times, and so we should. I try not to moan about it. I just want the best opportunity against different types of teams to play different ways, to give us the options to play with a number 9 right down the middle, or play with 2 wide strikers who run channels, or to play with a false 9. I think that's all. Just the options are a bit short at the moment. That's all I'm saying. I was going to say moaning about. I'm trying not to moan. I'm trying to just be realistic. We can pick teams as long as there's enough players that can attack, and Clark and Roberts can attack, and Pritchard can attack, and Semedo can attack, and Dak can attack. It's Job played in a pretty advanced area. Dan Neil scored the goal last weekend, so we've got enough people who we can get into the box, and we're just trying to put the pieces together, and somewhere down the line it'll look different because we'll have different players with different skill sets, and we'll be picking a team to suit their qualities and hopefully try and find a way to win.
Thank you.
Maddie?
How is the mood in the camp sort of at the moment? You've talked about frustration, but overall?
I think we've done a pre-season together. It was a tough pre-season. It was hot pre-season. We worked really, really hard. I think we tried to gel the group together. I think generally it's fine. I think the young players, so I did today, stopped the training, pulled them back in, stood and talked to them about the demands of playing in the Championship, and just to reiterate to them really that okay, we had a decent season last year, we finished in the top 6. It didn't just happen, it was hard work from everybody, and really we have to just reset our, and that's saying I don't think we didn't work hard against Ipswich. I thought we did work hard. I said after the game potentially our 2 real dominant creators last season, the two wide players, didn't have their most productive games in that match. But how's the mood? The mood's fine. Looking forward to the next game. It's we go into Preston, which was the last away league game of the season. You know, strangely enough, the first away league game of the next season is Preston away again, and we'll go and try and repeat what we did. Slightly different personnel, of course, but we should be looking forward to it. There'll be a big following there, and we have to go to Preston and try and impose our talent on the opposition and see if we can get 3 points.
What do you make of Preston as a team?
Well, I think they're a really honest, hard-working team. They're well structured. They've been playing three at the back, playing three attacking players, and wing backs playing really aggressive and high. And so, yeah, they're. It's always difficult. I spent 5.5 years at Blackburn Rovers, which was less than 10 miles from Preston, and so we're very aware of Preston, and them games were big games when I was the coach at Blackburn. Preston is always a difficult place to go. They're very emotional, very passionate about their football team. You know, historically Preston was one of the giants of English football, and so whenever you go to Preston, you know you're in for a really tough game, and I'm sure that we'll be in for a really tough game tomorrow.
Are you approaching the game slightly differently because you are both going for your first wins?
No, we've only played, you know, okay, to take the Crew game out of it, we've only played one game, and you know, I thought the performance level of the team was okay. We created probably enough chances not to lose that game, but we did. And yet I think if you're 5 or 6 games down the line, you ask me the question, there'll be a lot more pressure on it. This is our first away game. I think we were pretty good away from home last year for most of the season. I think we'll go into this game feeling confident, feeling that there was enough good stuff from last week to believe that we can do well this season. I didn't come away from the game thinking, goodness me, we've got so much work to do. I thought generally the build-up of our team to get the ball into the final third was really good last week, and there's plenty of positives. So we should be looking to take that into this game, and I'm sure Preston will be aware that they're going to play against a decent team, and we're aware that we're going to play against a team that'll be, as every Preston team that I've ever played against gives everything, and they're going to be really competitive and a difficult opposition for us.
Given that, it would be great getting those first points on the board, wouldn't it?
It always is. You're only ever, I think, for the first 20 games you can come and sit in here and stand in here if you want and ask me about how we're doing, and I'll say we're accumulating points, really, because I've been doing this for 20 years now, and you don't win leagues or get relegated in the first half of the season, really. You know, as I said there earlier on, by the end of October, I think Middlesbrough was second bottom last year, and they changed the coach and they ended up in the playoffs. So it's how you finish the season, really, how you build momentum, you build team spirit, you create this fighting spirit amongst your group, and I've got no concerns really so early in the season about how we're doing. But of course every team wants to put points on the board as quick as they can and try and build momentum, but as I said, plenty of positives from the first game at home, unexpected goals in the top 6 in the division, and we have to believe that we're doing lots of stuff right, and when we start putting the ball in the net, as we did a lot last year, we'll win plenty of games.